Hey, what's going on, guys? Rishetta is back in the 30 Minute Sisters lineup. She was the very first in the line, I think, right? And anyway, she's back here in her Freesia wear form. So it's a new version of Rishetta. It's kind of like the same character face and head, right? But all different body, basically, with this one. Really cool setup for this. I'm really liking the look of it. So let's go ahead and get into it here for today's video. So checking out the box here before we get into the contents, the cover art's just going to be in the same kind of style as the rest of the line. We have our nice character illustration here on this side and sort of like a close-up there in the background. We got our artwork here from Humikane Shimada, who also does artwork for Kotobukiya as well, but really cool character artist. On the ends of the box here, you can see this is number 14 in the lineup. And then if we look here on the bottom side of the box, you can see some of the options. So it looks like we have 3 tempo printed faces, so that's great. It's not just one printed face and then some decals. You actually have 3 printed faces, which is awesome. You can see some of the different option parts, things that we have included. So the total height's going to be around 145 millimeters, 14.5 centimeters there. Looks like she's got foldable 3mm joint pegs that are molded into the soles that you can fold out from the soles of the shoes. That's pretty cool. Cool new gimmick there. Some of the included equipment for the armored modes. You can make it, of course, as the armored or unarmored. So it actually looks like a really, really nice set with everything that you get included here. Some cool new parts and everything. So I'm really liking the look of this one. And then, of course, you can further customize it by adding different parts. So on the other side of the box, just showing how you can mix and match with 30 Minute Sisters parts, 30 Minutes Missions parts, 30 Minutes Fantasy parts. You can do it all with all of these 30 Minutes lines. Let's go ahead and check out our runners. There's our face parts right off the bat. We'll take a look at those in a minute as well. Just want to check out the instruction manual here first. We got that same box art there up at the top, number 14, and then some more reference images there of the sister and actions, just some different stuff that you can do with this there. Of course, on the back side, once again, just showing how you can customize this by using some of these different sets. You can make different customs and all that. So on the inside here in color is going to be our parts list there. And then we do have some first steps of the construction, battling which to show you first. But some of the construction here is going to be in color, just like to start us off. And the rest of the construction is going to be in black and white. But once again here, another cool feature to these instruction manuals is that you also have the chibi art of the characters here that will kind of guide you through. So there's for the basic information, and usually they pop up a couple of times throughout. So normal mode complete there. And then at the very end here again, swap out face parts to suit the vibe. So yeah, I like that they have the little chibi characters included in the manual as well. All right, so our face part runners here, we have face part K5 runner, which is just going to give us the neck joint and the part for like the inside of the head. Face part K1 is just going to be kind of a normal straight face there. Face part K2 is going to be a part with like a kind of angry face with the mouth, and you do have the mouth inside of the mouth as a separate part, and that's going to be painted in pink there as well for you. And then face part K4 here also has an open mouth with a separate mouth part there, also painted in pink. And the printing on these does look really nice. We'll take a closer look in the review as well. But moving on to the hair parts, so these are going to be hair parts P1, and again you can see how these are segmented just for the hair parts that are kind of like interchangeable. So these are the parts for like the back of the head, and these are just like the parts for like the front of the bangs. So if you wanted different bangs from a different set or something, you could do that just by basically swapping out those parts. So runner A here is a nice big full runner in 4 colors, and again very segmented, just because as you saw in the manual, if you noticed in the manual, the runners are meant to be segmented off, so depending on the part of the build. So like this segment here is only for like the legs, whereas this area here is for the body. So we have a couple of parts in flesh tone, some parts in black, some parts in orange, and some parts in this light yellow color here on the A runner. Runner B is going to be all in black, but again you can see it's segmented for each section of the build. Looks like arms, legs, and body, for example. So if you want to snap the runners apart before you do your assembly, you can kind of organize the runners actually by section of the build. Here we have runner C, which is some more parts here in orange. Runner D is some more parts here in black. Runner E is more parts here in skin tone. And again, as we've seen with some of the more recent releases in the 30 Minute Sisters line, some of these parts, like for the thighs and for the legs here, are one single part there, so you don't have to worry about seam lines on those parts, which is great. It's fantastic. Gotta love that. Lastly then, runner F is going to be some more of our equipment parts here in black, and that's it. So let's go ahead and get it checked out. Alright guys, and then here she is all put together. Really nice build, of course, as is norm for the 30 Minute Sisters lineup. But with this one, I really like the fact that we're kind of revisiting a character that's already been out in the line, but now with kind of different costume, different accessories and things like that. Something that I hope to see more. I think this is not the only kit in the line that does that, but if I remember correctly, it feels like there was one other character too that they had recently come out with that was like a returning character in a different costume, something like this. But anyway, obviously it's something we see a lot from Kotobukiya's different line of Mecha Musume model kits, but it'd be cool to see some more here in the 30 Minute Sisters line. But this one is really nice with some really cool accessories, so let's go ahead and get into it. And so first of all, for our face option parts, here is the first couple there, one with the slightly open mouth there, and you can see it's even pre-painted inside the mouth, which is nice. And the third face option part here is a fully open mouth. Again, that's pre-painted on the inside of there, so some nice expressive faces here for you. For the hand option parts then, we've got our standard set of closed fists here, as well as a set of open expressive hands, and just weapon holding hands here with just a square type holes there in the hands. That's it for our hand option parts. A couple of other adapter parts here. This part here, a backpack adapter part. If you wanted to turn this single hard point in the back into a double hard point there like that, you can also then attach other backpacks onto the top on top of this. This part here, at least according to the manual, is just meant to be a sort of extension piece for plugging action base into the lower back or the upper back there. And then we've got our standard array of option attachment pieces. So like here at the wrist, instead of just this plain wrist orange part there, you've got one that has a 3mm hard point on it like so. And then up at the bicep, you have just that plain orange ring. Alternatively, you have one that has a 3mm hard point, or another one that has a rectangular hard point on it here as well. And then we've got the same thing for down here on the thighs as well. One that gives you a rectangular hard point, and then a set with a 3mm peg hard point, but these are meant to be used together with this armor piece here that goes on the kind of side of the thigh, so we're going to use that for the armored mode. There's no hard point or option set parts for this ring right here at like the lower leg. Would have kind of been nice maybe, but other than that, we've just got her kind of cat part option sets here with the tail, the parts for the head, and the parts for the arm. This you can plug just as a whole. You can just kind of attach this whole thing right here to her back like so, but this part of course is meant to come off, and then this is going to go up here on the head. So when you remove that part of the hair, you can then plug this part in instead for the part on the top of the head. The tail as well can just come off and be on its own, and that is going to be somewhat flexible. You are going to be able to get a little bit of shape out of that, but this can plug onto here just kind of without that whole sort of backpack part. You can just have that on there directly. Alternatively, just leaving that attached. And then these parts here, which are attached just via ball joints onto this equipment part there. These claw parts we're going to remove, and then you have to do like a little bit of swapping around. It's kind of up to you. You really don't necessarily have to. You can put it on kind of however you want, but you're going to swap that part around. Swap this part here at the wrist to give us that hard point to attach this onto, and then just attach this claw part here to the side of her hand here, which is going to act then kind of as her primary weapon, as we don't have any other kind of like cannon or rifle or any other kind of like ranged weapon, I guess. So you just have these claws. And then I did want to show you guys a comparison with the original kit. So this would be the new one. This is the original, the first one out in the line, and a couple of things that are very different. Obviously you can see we have these additional hard points on the legs of the original version. It's definitely kind of got a little bit more kind of clothing covering with only the thighs exposed there. You don't have the upper arms exposed, but you could swap the parts. Of course, everything's going to be compatible, the same body size, the same skin color and everything. Obviously the face part's going to be compatible as well. A couple of other really cool things to point out to you guys though here, differences from the original kit, is that these hair parts here on the side are movable. Those are attached via little ball joints up inside there, so you can kind of adjust the angle of those hair parts. And then up underneath the feet, you not only have this kind of like little cat pad pattern there, but you have fold out hard points here on the feet as well. So that little 3mm peg will fold out of the foot if you wanted to attach something here onto the bottom of the foot as well as different like option part or something. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, guys, as is normal with the line, you have a really nice range of articulation. No stand included with this one, so I would definitely recommend getting a stand to just kind of free up that articulation to be able to do a wider range of poses with this. But I feel like with this one, we also have a pretty nice set of accessories with it. You know, with all of these kits in the line, it's always going to feel maybe like that they don't necessarily come with a ton of stuff in the box, and that's just kind of by design. Of course, these are meant to be customized. You're meant to be able to get the different option sets and get different kits and mix and match and do all that. So I mean, as a set on its own, I think you have plenty of stuff in there. Some really nice options for like the armor and weapons, and like obviously your hand and face options in there as well. But of course, if you did want to kind of expand and, you know, mix and match with other parts from other different sets, you can always do that as well. And so as I said at the start of the review, it's kind of cool to revisit an old character, you know, the first character out in the lineup here with a kind of different body and some different features features, different weapons and accessories and all that. It's for the most part, I mean, like an entirely new kit, of course. You know, everything's new about the design except for just, you know, the hair and the face kind of make her the character. But a pretty fun set for sure. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you guys want to check out some more of the 30 Minutes Sisters line, 30 Minutes Missions, 30 Minutes Fantasy, all that, you can check the link in the video description to USA Gundam Store. We've got lots of great stuff there on the site. All these kits plus more paints, tools, supplies, you can get it all there on the site. So check it out. And as always, guys, thank you so much for checking out the video here today. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. If you are not yet subscribed, you can subscribe as well. Just hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. Later.